Hey guys, Jim here from Record Collector News. Want to do a quick video about the Zoo Audio DWX loudspeakers. I have had a pair of these in the office for maybe 4 months now, and I originally wanted to check them out because I have a 6-watt Deckware integrated amplifier that I just love. It's a SET, single-ended triode amp. I just love the way it sounds. But with 6 watts, you need very efficient speakers. And I've been trying to use them with my sort of reference Legacy Classics, which I believe are about 90 or maybe 92 dB efficient. And it's okay, but it doesn't get loud. It won't play loud. But what it does do with the 6 watts is very lovely. But I wanted something with a little more, power, something that could get loud. So eventually I've had this Deckware amp for years, and eventually I just decided to see what would happen with some of the Zoo Audio DWX loudspeakers. Been hearing a lot about them. They're a very large stand mount. I happen to have some sound anchor stands that work perfectly with them. So I put them in the house, and we'll get right to it. The sound in my space was easy to set up. It just kind of made a triangle, and I have them out from the wall a little bit, only because I can't get them close to the wall. But they sound really compelling. One of the first things I noticed with these speakers was voices sounded incredible. I listened to a lot of Frank Zappa, and the sound of Frank's voice was sort of all there. It reminded me of listening to Frank when I was 13 or 14 years old. It just sounded fuller and richer. There was plenty of bass. I'm comparing it to the Legacy Classics. The Legacy Classics have two 10-inch subwoofers built in, along with 3 other drivers. So the Legacies have a lot more bass, but this has plenty. They energize my room. They make things vibrate. The sound was easy, and it was detailed. I don't know how to explain it. It was easy, it was detailed, it was bouncy, and it was round. So there was something physical to it almost, or 3D about it. I sort of thought it was hard on records that sound like crap, and hard on equipment that's lousy too. But in the middle of doing all this, my turntable broke. So I had to hook up a really, really, really not great turntable. It didn't sound great. But after a few days, it sounded fine. And then it started sounding compelling again. But then when my, Merrill Williams Sirius rig was back in place, it was stunning, and the differences were incredible. But I wouldn't say that it is hard on records. It just is accurate. Not too accurate, but they seem to be accurate. I was listening on the backup turntable was a Technics SL 1700 auto return from about 1979. And I had this Tom York Anima record, and it sounded so uninteresting on that turntable. I was going to trade it in. But then I got the Merrill Williams back in play, and that record is staying put. There is real presence in the room with these speakers. They don't disappear. You see them, they're kind of large, but it doesn't seem obvious that the music is actually coming out of the speakers. They're just sort of there, and the music is filling the room. That's what's happening. I've tried them with not just my 6-watt Deckware amp, but I've also tried them with the Galleon Thomas Stereo TS75 solid state amp, and that was a lot of fun too. That was really fun. But the 6-watt deckware was a little bit more dynamic. It was slightly more dynamic. There was a bit of more of a physical connection with the SET amp. Grateful Dead, Without a Net. I've got it on vinyl. I was listening to Side 5, Help on the Way, the extended jam. All the interplay between the instruments was there. It was, my note says, it was pretty awe-inspiring. Very live feel. I've heard people say these are a thinking man's Klipsch. I don't know, I haven't really spent a lot of time with Klipsch speakers. The RM600 or whatever it is, the one that, you know, the small bookshelf, I had that in here for a minute. They sounded like plastic to me. They just didn't sound good at all. But these are freaking lovely, man. It's easy for music to sound good. It's attractive, it's dynamic, it's detailed, but it's not too detailed, and there's something to it. There's a bit of magic going on. And it's not just with fancy records. I was saying that some records don't sound so good, but I put on Eric Burdon and the Animals' Greatest Hits. Not a hi-fi, you know, not a audiophile record. It sounded really good. The song San Francisco, it's quiet, it's pretty, and you hear tone. You hear tone with these speakers. So I'm stoked. I'm keeping them. They're staying here. I reviewed them in the current issue of Record Collector News, and I think I ended the review with, if these sound so good, I wonder what his top-of-the-line speakers sound like. I'm not going to bother with the top of the line for now. I'm going to sit with these for a long time. They are really fun, really good. And, you know, that's my review of the Zoo Audio DWX loudspeaker. Yeah, I bought them. So am I biased? Of course I am. But I really suggest that if you're looking for a speaker, I did go for the Supreme. So these are about a $2,500 speaker. Man, they're good. They really, really, really cook. Anyway, that's my review. I hope you like it, and take care, everybody.